Alright, this is going to be a contact staff tutorial, an improvement on a video for the Fishtails. The current one has no audio or anything, and the explanation is kind of hard to understand, so I figured I'd help out. By the way, I got the Home of Poi contact staff breakdown, three-piece breakdown staff, and it doesn't have this line here, which is something some people like. I know my cousin is starting to pick up contact staff, and he doesn't really like the whole not having a line here, but I think it's great. I like how it's kind of stickier here and smoother here, just the material. I got a really big one for me. I just like the longer, I don't know, my choice, but they have the shorter ones. This is the longest one. It's awesome. Like, it doesn't shake when it's locked in, it doesn't rattle, or it's really stable when you're spinning it and stuff, and it's straight. I guess you can't really see because of the head on it, but yeah, also the fire head covers are cool. They've saved me from a lot of falls. Probably would have messed up my fire heads pretty bad. Anyway, let's see. So, the Fishtail, I'm sure most of you would know what it is by now, but it's this. It's when you do one beat on each side, like it doesn't do both heads hit the bottom, it's just one, like you're rowing kind of. And so you're doing that with the staff on the back of your hand being balanced. So the motion is kind of like almost like a weird wave. And so when you start, what one would consider doing would be to do the motion of it while holding the staff on the back of the hand. Like if you're right-handed dominant, I would suggest start with your right hand. Anyway, I would hold it down so you can kind of get the feel for it, and then start trying to depend on the hand more. And eventually, you can let go and just do it on your own. But I'm a big fan of. Did I mention it's really hot out? And I'm a big fan of doing things in steps, breaking it down into different parts. So, like if you've watched my Poi videos, but like when I'm doing forward, I was learning forward, which is a lot harder. I recommend starting going backwards, like this, rather than forwards, because I still even mess up on that once in a while. But that's one of the big things that kind of happens when you're first starting this, is you'll kind of do it and you just can't quite get it to go to the other side. It'll just like mess up or something. So you just kind of gotta do one part, like practice going to the other side. Like that. And then you can practice going to the other side. So if you're starting on your right, just practice doing that. And if you can get it from your left to your right, easy, then go. But practice starting on your right before where it starts having that problem area. When I was doing the forward, this is what would happen. I would do this on my left side, with my right hand. I'll do this, it would come on my left side, and I would come back to my right hand side, and it would slide back. And I'll see if I can recreate it. It shouldn't be too hard. That kind of thing. So as I went over to this side, it would start sliding and slip. And what I found easier is if I kind of cradle it more. I don't even know how to describe it. I went faster for one, because for some reason it just made it easier for me. And you make sure not to really overdo the motions too much, because if you do that too much, it kind of gets thrown off. Like the forces are going too much that way, and you can't really save it because you can't wrap your hand around it. It's good on the back. So you want to keep the motion subtle enough to the point that it won't fly off like that, but you don't want them to be too subtle, because otherwise it just won't work. So it's just kind of finding that balance area, not on the staff, but the balance between being really exaggerating with your moves and kind of somewhere in between. I found it's easier kind of at first to really get yourself into the feel of it. Like I'm better with the backwards, and so you can see I don't really throw my hand around as much, and I can do it when it's going slower. But with the front, I still kind of move my hand a lot further. What you kind of do is when you're doing the forward, on the back side, when you're coming up, you really want to push up, like this. Like if you do it, if you're a poi spinner, it helps things out, because you kind of like if you just moved your hands through the motions of doing a weave with one of your boy, it really, it's kind of like that. And then when you're doing backwards, you do the same thing, you push up, you really exaggerate that upward motion, because it kind of helps it come up and around over to the next side. Another thing is when you're doing the forward one, kind of think like you're just holding it, it's spinning, and you're just kind of holding it with the forward moving forces until it can complete its spin around and you can balance it on your hand. So when it's doing this, and it comes up around here, you can balance it on your hand, but as it comes up, you are pushing it around and holding it while it's still spinning. So you're using this force to hold it on your hand that's going around, because you can spin like that, you know, pretty much infinitely, and it'll stay on your hand in whatever direction. If I can find the point. So you're using that kind of centripetal forces to hold it on until it gets around to the other side of its spin. And that's one of the ways I kind of help myself learn both of them. I'm a little dizzy. Anyway, I think that's about it. I recommend this staff and the Fireheads very highly. It is my first, and I've played with others, but I love this one. So have fun with learning that, and look for my other tutorials. I'm going to start doing more staff, because I noticed a lot of those kind of could use some improvement as I learn myself. So yeah, thanks for watching.